ABC 10 News at 7 starts now.
I'm still trying to process, like, why was she there? Like, why was she in that position?
Friends of the San Diego woman shot and killed inside the Capitol are trying to wrap their heads around how she ended up there. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Our ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala talked to people who knew Ashley Babbitt well.
Ashley Babbitt grew up in San Diego County and went to El Capitan High School. She later enlisted in the Air Force, and friends from the military say she loved her country, but they don't understand why she was inside of the Capitol building.
We deployed together in 2012. She was the coolest person I probably met in the Air Force. It's like, why was she even there for this to happen?
Charles Breckenridge remembering his friend Ashley Babbitt as someone who had a strong personality and passion for her country.
She was super smart, so I'm still trying to process, like, why was she there? Like, why was she in that position?
Babbitt grew up in Lakeside and went to El Capitan High School. She served a total of 12 years in the Air Force Reserves, and Air National Guard, and was most recently living in Ocean Beach. She was an avid and vocal supporter of President Trump. Babbitt was part of the large group who stormed the Capitol Wednesday. Capitol Police say she was shot by a Capitol Police employee as people were forcing their way toward the House chamber where members of Congress were sheltering in place. She was taken to the hospital where she later died. Her grandfather said while his own political views are neutral and he didn't always agree with Babbitt, he was supportive of how passionate she was.
You can't argue with her because she never would. As she served time in the military, she's passionate about everything, particularly Donald Trump for some reason.
Breckenridge says he recognized what Babbitt was wearing when he saw video of the shooting and still can't believe how quickly things escalated, leading to his friend's death.
It's been craziness since I realized that was her in the video. I'm angry at people, but I don't want to be, because I know that's not going to help anything. It's crazy to think that she's gone.
Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
The Capitol Police employee who fired the shot has been placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of an investigation.
I'm Diego Councilman in the 10 News Live Center with an update on that Capitol Police officer who was reported to have died. The Capitol Police Department is now saying that none of its officers have died, and I want to walk you through what happened despite all of the media reporting to the contrary. The New York Times, CNN, NPR, and others have all been reporting this afternoon that one Capitol Police officer died. This is the official statement. They're saying the officer did not die. So let's dig into this a little bit. The police union chair out there is saying that the officer hasn't passed away. He's still on life support until his family can arrive. We understand this officer was hit in the head with a fire extinguisher during all the chaos that happened yesterday. 15 Capitol Police officers were hospitalized in all of that. The Capitol Police chief has resigned. Now, in other breaking developments this afternoon, we've learned that the Education Secretary, Betsy DeVos, is resigning. She's the second cabinet-level administrative officer to resign from the Trump administration. This is her official statement. She started by saying that she and the president have accomplished a lot in the realm of education. She said that we should be highlighting and celebrating your administration's many accomplishments on behalf of the American people. Instead, we are left to clean up the mess caused by violent protesters overrunning the U.S. Capitol in an attempt to undermine the people's business. That behavior was unconscionable for our country, and she went on to say there is no mistaking the impact of your rhetoric and the impact your rhetoric had on the situation, and it is the inflection point for me. So strong words there from Betsy DeVos, who has been a loyal aide to the president since the very beginning of his administration. Derek Stahl, ABC 10 News.
Derek, thank you. A Santee city councilman is looking to clear his name tonight after false claims that he was at the D.C. protest. He told ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer Kastner he's been getting angry calls and emails all day.
The council member said that he never left San Diego and that the Santee mayor can verify that. Santee City Council member Dustin Trotter is defending his reputation after social media posts falsely accused him of being at the nation's capital for the violent protests.
All just misinformation.
On Facebook, users misidentified him in a video, but he told ABC 10 News that he was in Santee, not D.C.
Yesterday, for example, I had a meeting with the city manager at 10:30 in the city of Santee. I actually had lunch with the mayor at 11:30 yesterday.
One way I know that he wasn't involved is because he and I were having lunch yesterday when all that was going on.
Santee Mayor John Minto said that he and Trotter are both conservatives, but
Dustin and I, we agree. The election's over. Let's get on with our business. And I can tell you, I've never seen anything from him that said anything about violence or acting against our government.
We actually got some emails at City Hall today requesting that I resign or that I step down from my council position.
Trotter said he firmly denounces the actions at the Capitol.
Law and order needs to stand in this country at all times.
One Facebook user who was involved wrote to ABC 10 News that as soon as they figured out the information was wrong, they deleted comments and posted a retraction. Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
Our coverage of the fallout from the riots continues. Coming up in a few minutes, we will talk to local Republicans about what the violence means for the party's future.
Turning now to coronavirus, California has set a 2-day record for coronavirus deaths. 1,042 Californians have now passed away from COVID over the last 2 days. That breaks the previous record set at the end of December. California's overall death toll since the start of the pandemic now stands at 28,000. Here in San Diego, another 47 people have lost their lives from COVID, bringing our total to 1,700. There were also another 3,800 cases today, bringing that total to 180,000. There are only 40 available staffed ICU beds left in the county.
The COVID vaccine rollout is well underway, but lots of people are still wondering when they will get their dose. ABC 10 News anchor Lindsay Pena explains where we are in the process and how long before everyone will have access.
When we get to phase 1B, this will be messaged to the public.
Nearly 600 people joined a virtual town hall Thursday morning with San Diego County Supervisor Jim Desmond and health experts to ask questions about the COVID vaccine rollout. Just this week, San Diego County announced all people in phase 1A are now eligible to get their first dose.
Instead of holding for tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3, anybody that fits into phase 1A should be able to step forward and get a vaccine.
Dr. Christian Ramers with Family Health Centers of San Diego is on the COVID vaccine Clinical Advisory Committee. They're in charge of making decisions related to the rollout. He says their next focus will be phase 1B.
The first tier right off the bat is age 75 and older. And that's a pretty easy one, I would say, because really the mortality is just so much higher.
Also in 1B are people working in sectors like education, childcare, and agriculture. There isn't a set date right now on when we could move forward in phases, but...
And I'd say within weeks is probably the best I can do to just really opening up to the public.
According to the county, so far there have been over 200,000 doses allocated to the region, but we've only received 120,500. And of that number, nearly 52,000 doses have been administered. The county says they're trying to be as aggressive as possible in getting the vaccines out, which means not waiting until everyone in a phase or tier has been vaccinated.
We can move on to the next tier and we don't have to wait until everything gets finished because we really want to move things more quickly.
Lindsay Pena, ABC 10 News.
It's important to note the current vaccine numbers don't include doses sent to military bases or large pharmacies vaccinating in skilled nursing facilities. You can go to the county's website for more information on the vaccine rollout schedule and which group you fall into. Stay on top of any new developments with coronavirus by downloading the 10 News app. A free version is available in the App Store.
A North County massage therapist is under arrest tonight for sexual battery against multiple women. Escondido police began investigating Patrick Stone 2 weeks ago when a woman says that he touched her in a sexual manner during a massage. Another woman came forward with a similar allegation yesterday. So today, police sent a female undercover detective in. She says that Stone did the same thing. Escondido police are asking any other victims to now come forward.
A close call for some people in Chula Vista. They had to evacuate this morning after a fast-moving fire broke out south of Sweetwater Reservoir. Crews from multiple agencies battled the fire from the air and the ground. Fortunately, they were able to stop the fire before it reached homes. 20 acres burned, but no one was hurt. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
A strange series of events left a driver dead today in San Marcos. A Ford Focus crashed through the guardrail and down an embankment this morning on the 78 east near San Marcos Boulevard. The driver survived, but walked back up the embankment onto the freeway, where he was then hit and killed by a passing car. The driver's name is not being released, but we're told that he was a 22-year-old from Vista. And a 19-year-old motorcyclist is dead after an accident today in La Jolla. Police say the young man was speeding when he lost control and hit a plastic barrier on Torrey Pines Road near La Jolla Shores. He landed in the southbound lanes and was run over by a car. Officers closed the road during the investigation.
La Mesa police say the man who robbed a bank around Christmas time has been arrested. They say San Diego police arrested him on a different charge. Matthew Handy is accused of walking into the bank on December 28th and giving the teller a note demanding money. He did get cash and ran off. Police say he was recognized while in San Diego police custody and rebooked on the robbery charge.